Economy and Infrastructure, STC. Item 1 on the agenda is apologies for absence.
Thank you, Chair. We have apologies from Councillor Stewart Rice.
Okay, plus others will pop in as we go along. Any disclosures of personal or prejudicial interest? No. And then sign and approve the minutes of the previous meeting as a correct record, pages 1 to 3, pages 1, page 2, page 3. Yeah, that's been moved and seconded. Thank you very much. And then straight down to 4, which is the local economic delivery plan. And it's Claire on her own. Oh yes, and Phil is on as well. You've got backup now, so it's all right. So do you want to kick off, or do you want to say something first, Phil?
Just to say that you know, the report that you're about to have from Claire shows really good progress in terms of the development of the work since our last meeting. I think we're really getting to a point now where this could start to make a difference in the future. But I'll hand over to Claire to take you through it.
Okay, thank you. And before that, Robert, do you want to say anything before Claire?
No, I'm happy. Happy with it.
Yeah, fantastic. There are Claire.
Lovely, thank you. Okay. Yes, as Phil said, obviously we've been several times before to the committee. So I think the last time was in July when we brought the one-page strategic framework that you've got in your report. And so now the full local economic delivery plan is in Appendix 2 of your report. So as you know,
Before we go anywhere, where's Appendix 2?
In the papers for the meeting.
I've got Appendix B.
Oh, B, sorry.
It is
B, that's it.
Who is B in it? You know,
Yes.
A, B.
Yes.
So it is that.
Appendix A,
Okay.
integrated impact assessment.
Just ignoring the song.
No, I did. I went
Two
for
or B.
Appendix 2.
Full document.
2 points for.
Yes. Yes, Appendix B, Appendix 2 is the full plan. So yes, so since we last came to the committee, obviously we've done work now fleshing out that one page you saw previously into the full local economic delivery plan framework document, which gives you the narrative that goes around the aims and objectives. And we've moved on and we've developed the action plan. So we've done workshop sessions with Regeneration Swansea, the partnership, to deliver the action plan. So obviously, just to recap, we've got the regional economic delivery plan for South West Wales. This local plan now complements that and sets out our economic regeneration priorities and actions for Swansea. So if I just go through, obviously the report that you've got is the recap. It sets out the policy context, the economic context. These are in detail in the plan in Appendix B. And then we go on to the action plan. So the intention of this, as I've mentioned previously, this is a live document. This will change. So the strategic framework, the missions, the objectives, the aims, these are set now when we will use these to guide our work. The action plan will be a live document that we will update as we move forward, as actions are delivered and as new opportunities come along, and we'll add into the plan. So you'll see this version is high level, and obviously further work will be done after this now to flesh out these actions in more detail. They're a mix of existing things that we've started to put into practice that meet the aims and objectives, and new sort of aspirational ideas that we've got that we would like to introduce that we need to scope out more. And as we go forward and we do that, you know, we'll be identifying the named partners to deliver these actions, the timescales, the funding, and reporting on progress. The Regeneration Swansea partnership will be responsible for reviewing and monitoring the action plan, and we'll report back to them on a regular basis. And I think that as an overview, and would welcome any comments really on the plan and the action plan that you've got.
Thank you, Claire. Any questions on the presentation? No, just the one from me is the action plan.
Yes.
So when do we see the action plan? Because his action plan is under page 27, number 5. Doesn't say a great deal.
Yes, and this is the initial version. This is the high level version now that sets out the actions. It shows you how it links across to the objectives. So, you know, we brought these to you now to present these to you to get your views on these. Is there anything that you think is missing? And then we'll develop this further now as we go forward. Some of these will be very easy to scope out quickly because there's work in progress. Others are going to take a little bit of time and discussion with partners. So this will evolve as time goes forward now.
Yeah. So the action plan will be the mission statement 1, 2, and 3 moving forward. And I like the explanation you've got from page 19 onwards, where it is explaining every particular one individually, which is easy for me to understand. And if I can understand it, everybody can understand it. Because I don't think there's anything missing unless anybody else has spotted anything. But I think it's a very good report. And like I said, when you come back to us again, it's where we've moved on from here with the action plan. Yeah. Robert?
Yeah, there's a lot of work being carried out on this by officers, and especially the workshops and working with Regeneration Swansea. That went on for a full morning where everybody split up into separate working groups and reporting back. The amount of work that's gone behind this is being staggering, and I'd like to put my thanks on to the officers for the work they put into it. But it does evolve, you know. And when you look on local economic delivery plan strategic framework, those are all what we're going to deliver on. And I suppose coming to this group is, do you think is anything missing? What can you add to it? What do personally, I've gone through this several times. The officers have. I think if there's anything that was missing, now's the time, perhaps for this group now, to add to it. If you think this thing's missing, I haven't spotted anything, but you know, more people looking at it, the better. But it's like I look at, you know, strategic aim 5, creating connected, sustainable places, and 5.1, building a strong, healthy, and resilient city centre. Well, the work that we're putting into the city centre shows what we're doing, what our aims are, getting people more working, living back in the city centre. But it also matches up strategic decarbonising the wider economy and decarbonising the business pace. And again, if we go down each action points there, everything that we're doing when we are looking at investment in the city centre, things like transforming towns, people are putting green walls again in the city centre, the work that we've done on the Kingsway, where, you know, far more green spaces, the work going forward that will be going on to Castle Square, and the private sector now buying into that and getting more homes in the empty spaces above the shops, is like homes above the shops. It all adds up to delivering this strategic framework that we got here. I don't think we've missed anything because there's, as I said previously, all the work on it. But I would welcome the views of the committee if they think there's anything missing there.
No, thank you, Robert. Anybody else? No, and like I said, I've read it a few times, and it's a very good report. I think it's saying a lot, like Robert said, there's been a few meetings, a few workshops, you've been coming out with it. The secret is, you know what we want to do, is how do we do it? And I think that's the one thing that hits me was the outlying centres. You know, because I live in an outlying centre, so I would like to say, well, okay, well, how are you going to regenerate my village, my town? And the same because a couple of years ago we done a piece of work on town centres where we had site visits down in Mumbles, Pondylice, Gorsainan, Clydach. We went all around these Calais, and we went to see how they were working and how we could improve on them. But that was a few years ago. So yes, very good job. Claire, you have all the applaudis because you were here, and Mr. Holmes as well. But we're not saying Paul Elf done a good job because you're not here. So so nothing from anybody else. This is going to be a short one, isn't it, for Christmas?
Could I come in, Chair, just to echo the points that's been made, and also to say that I think one of the strengths of this particular piece of work is that it is a live document, so it's it will be able to flex and sort of pivot as things change in the economy and as opportunities present themselves as well. So I think that's a strength of it. There's lots of stuff in the action plan that we're already underway with, and as Claire said, there's probably a level of sophistication to add to this once we start building in timescales and performance indicators and partner sort of contributions and that sort of thing. But like Robert said, I've been through it like him. I couldn't see any gaps there. And I think it's a really good reflection on Swansea's sort of contribution to the economy, not just for Swansea, but also for the region as well. It links in very nicely with the regional framework. So I think it's a really good document for us to move forward with. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Phil. Robert?
Yeah, some of the things that you said, how will this help our communities? Well, we can help the communities by creating a city that have the right skills, the right workforce, the training that's going ahead. Most of all, we need money to do this, and the deliverables. The department has been very good, and in fact is acting as the Shared Prosperity Fund, not just for Swansea, but managing it for Neath, Talbot, Carmarthen, Pembroke, doing a huge amount of work there. I think they're pushing something like £158 million into West Wales. Through the department, it's the Levelling Up Fund. And when you look at, perhaps look at little townships, I suppose, really within the larger urban area, places like Clydach, which has seen a lot of work being carried out there to the high street, to restoration of some of the heritage parts, the canal that's gone in. And I suppose all those actions are in this framework. And as money becomes available, we got to make sure that the applications match our criteria and the funding go into those areas to make it deliverable. If we only had this magic wand to get a lot more money, we could deliver a lot more. But I think the amount of money that's attracted in through the economic development and the team working together has been considerable. Working with central government and Welsh government and making sure that we got the right policies in place to deliver.
Yeah, thank you, Claire.
Yeah, and just to echo that, that's important. And what this does for us now, it sets out quite clearly what our aims and our objectives are. These are our priorities, and these do link in to Welsh Government funding streams, UK government funding streams, and the priorities and missions that they've got. So it puts us in a strong position to bid for money, because we're very clearly saying this is a situation we've got in Swansea. These are our opportunities, and link the actions to that and draw the funding in on the back of it. So that's a very important aspect of this.
Yeah, and all our partners, on the Regeneration Swansea, we got there both universities, we got a lot of people from the public and private sector on it. A really good cross section of industry and businesses within Swansea who have scoped this, taken part in the workshops. I think is a very good plan, and stands up there was probably with is probably an exemplar to the rest of West Wales of how to put a deliverable plan together.
Yeah, thank you all for that. And the other thing is that if a grant opportunity does come along, they expect you to put everything in within about 2 to 3 days. So, you know, for us to be ready, so when this does happen, that we go in straight away, so we can have all the money. Okay. Unfortunately, this is a quick meeting due to that, and the fact that our housing allocation policy had been pulled at the last meeting, so we're waiting for that now to come back in. So there is a recommendation here that we note the progress in producing the LEDP and provide comments, which we've done, but we haven't put anything new in because everything is there, which is set out in Appendix B of this report. So we all agree with that? Okay. Thank you very much. So that's the end of the first, well, that report. So we're straight on to the work plan. So we've got the work plan in front of you. We've got January, February, and of course we've got the housing allocation to come back in. And I've also arranged a meeting with the leader in January to see if there's anything else that we can put in, because I haven't spoken to Robert. So when I speak to Robert as well, and then we may put other things in on the work plan for us to get our teeth into something to make these meetings slightly longer. Okay, if there's nothing else, thank you very much. Wish you all a Merry Christmas and hope we don't have snow.